Do you know why Soccer Labs works better than being out on the field doing technical skills training? Well, let me show you this drill and I'll explain some of the subtleties that we put into a drill like this and why it just works better and why these kids finally start to learn some really important things about how to play smarter, how to play better, how to play more efficiently, and just get better results. All right, so we have the pole set up in somewhat of a horseshoe. And the reason we do that is that way they have to grab that first ball, like grab that red ball and come around this way and dribble all the way around, get to this side and shoot with their left foot. Then they have to come back in, get their other red ball and dribble around the other way, get to this side and shoot with their right foot. Now, after they make both balls, it releases, figuratively speaking, that center white ball. So we have two kids running. We start in the middle on the back wall. I say go, and then one kid runs one way, one kid runs the other way, and they alternate. You know, they're going in opposite directions. So first of all, they have to dribble with both feet. They have to shoot with both feet, and they have to keep their eyes up, otherwise they're going to run into each other. Now, we don't do any 1v1s. We don't do any of that type of scrimmaging. We are non-contact. But we still want them to dribble in a way that they don't run into each other, right? So after they make the ball, then they can do a pullback on that white ball and take a shot at the goal. And that's the objective. Whoever gets the white ball into the goal is the winner. It doesn't matter how quickly you shot the other balls. You got to release the white ball by getting both your balls in the net, do that pullback and make the quick shot. Well, one of the things that we do is we make sure that we're training these kids that they've got to do their pullbacks and make sure they turn in a way that their body is between the ball and the opposing player, because you don't want that opposing player to have an easy chance just to stick their foot in and get the ball. I mean, very common for kids to turn right into defenders. All right, so then we like to do a competition. We do an elimination round. We call it the Grandmaster Championship. And the person that lost the Grandmaster Championship, well, he was actually winning. He had better speed, better pace on the first two balls, but when he did his pullback and turn, he turned right into his opponent. And his opponent was able to stick their foot in, and if they poke the ball and it goes behind the poles, well, that's a restart, okay? Because again, we don't do any physical scrimmaging, and we sure don't want them wrestling around in the poles, okay? So, of course, then we did a rematch. We start again, set everything up. We started again and ran the same drill. Well, this time the other person got there first, got to the ball first, and she turned the correct way. Now she had her opponent on her back. Okay, so instead of having an equal chance to stick their foot in and get the ball, she had her body between the ball and her opponent, made that turn, shot the ball, and won. So it was actually a really valuable lesson, because we've been talking about this and exercising on this thing and drilling on this concept of making sure you turn the proper way, and that when you're playing the game, you're always keeping your body between the ball and the other person. Never turn into that defender, never turn into your opponent, because you don't want to give them a 50-50 shot at the ball. I mean, it's a simple concept, but it's one that it's extremely difficult to drill into these kids when they're out on the field, because it just doesn't happen enough. Here we've got a scenario, a competitive scenario, where we can get that habit built, where they can start to learn, like, hey, if the guy's on my left, I'm going to turn to my right. If he's on my right, I'm going to turn to my left. I'm going to keep my body between them and the ball, and I'm going to keep the distance so that only I can access the ball and I'm shielding it. These things happen all the time, all right? This is just one example, but I wanted to share this with you because this happened almost to a textbook T today, where the person that lost now will probably always remember, because they get mad. They hate losing these little competitions. They do. They're all competitive kids. So they hate losing these little drills, but I'd rather have them lose in a drill and get that burned into their psyche about which way to turn, so that when they're in the big game, that habit is formed and they never have to regret losing a big game because they made the wrong turn. Anyhow, that's it. This is Gary with Soccer Labs. I just wanted to reach out, show you some of the things that we're doing here. And keep in mind, as we are a development center, not a gym, we're a development center. We're open now. We are doing small groups. We are practicing all the good stuff that you need to practice. So come on in and get your soccer skills up. They will be playing in the fall. And I can tell you that a lot of these kids have gotten kind of rusty. You know, you just don't go from sitting around for 3 months not playing to being back at the top of your game. So when the tryouts are right around the corner or when the season is going to start, you want to be ready. And coming into Soccer Labs will not only get you ready, but it will quickly accelerate your technical skills so you will hit the pitch in better shape than you've ever been before, period. All right, have a great day. I will chat with you. Bye.